Every year, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, hosts a huge conference in the nation's capital. Almost 20,000 people in the audience, a highly polished production on stage. The focus, always the speakers, many of whom are Washington's most powerful politicians, both Democratic and Republican. They show up, and it shows AIPAC is a political force. And there will be powerful Democrats there, with one very notable exception.
I am very proud to be Jewish and look forward to being the first Jewish president in the history of this country.
Democratic presidential frontrunner Senator Bernie Sanders is not only refusing to go, he's slamming the organization on Twitter, writing, "I remain concerned about the platform AIPAC provides for leaders who express bigotry and oppose basic Palestinian rights." AIPAC responded, tweeting back in part that it was, quote, an outrageous comment about what they labeled a mainstream bipartisan event. But American University professor Guy Ziv believes support for Israel in the U.S. is becoming a partisan issue.
And Netanyahu has a big role to play here because he, in 2012, invited Mitt Romney during the presidential election to Israel and hosted him as a way to endorse him over Obama. A few years later, in 2015, in March, Netanyahu comes here and delivers that speech to a joint session of Congress in which he tried to scuttle the Iran nuclear deal, which was the president's signature foreign policy achievement.
And to some, it seems even more so now, given the close ties between the current Republican president, Donald Trump, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The divide was on full display with this television ad.
Bernie's a great guy, but he just can't win.
Run by a group of prominent Democratic supporters of Israel, openly campaigning against Sanders, who could become the first Jewish nominee from a major party. The ad stopped when he became the frontrunner. And it's who he appeals to that could be the greatest concern over the long term. He's garnering the most support among young people who are well aware of this issue and his concerns. Although Nadine Epstein, editor-in-chief of Moment magazine, a publication focused on American Jews, says that fear of turning young people could be overblown.
I see a lot of young people are very interested in Warren. And then don't forget, there were a lot of conservative young people. And I see a lot of people talking about, young people talking about Klobuchar. I see them talking about Bloomberg.
Most analysts say over the long term, if AIPAC is going to keep the kind of influence, it needs to have bipartisan support. Trying to strike a balance this year, with elections looming in both countries, will be more of a challenge than ever before. Patti Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.